know what I love? I love that soccer, that kicky bally game.
Yeah, I'm not a huge soccer. Neither of us is a huge soccer fan. I think it's just like when we get into like world stuff, it's.
Also, I'm not a fan of female soccer players.
I am a fan of Katie Nolan, who's a fan of soccer.
Katie Nolan solo a soccer player.
She retired this year,
And I believe she was a psycho who used to beat people, but
she did also beat her husband. Yeah.
Which to be honest, that mentality sounds like pretty much every girl I've ever been involved with. So let's just.
No, Megan Rapinoe is a female soccer player. Tobin Harris, I think. Not Tobin Harris. Fuck, I don't remember her name. God damn it. There was a player that I was like, oh, I'm surprised that that was a soccer player. I thought it was a country singer.
Oh my goodness, we should do this as a game. A country singer or a soccer player.
Country singer, soccer player? Yeah.
Okay, well, let's go to Sweden.
Well, it's not quite Sweden.
So tell me the story of this bit.
So, I tried really hard, Sweden. I really did to get a beer from you guys. However, you are not as popular in terms of beer. There's a lot of things that you guys do. We could have had meatballs. We could have had a
vodka. They do some bloody good vodka.
We didn't do any of that. You do, however...
Furniture is...
Furniture, right. You guys do really
the blondes
good...
are like...
really good mead. So...
And mead is like wine made from honey, but is it wine or is it beer? It's kind of like the same thing.
It's closer to beer. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's closer. It's like a beer. It's like a honey type of beer. So they had 3 different types. One was a Viking one. There was another one that I don't remember. But this one I chose specifically for you because it's Nordic honey wine with ginger. Hey.
Do you know what? I should rinse these glasses out. So entertain everyone for 2 seconds while I rinse this out.
Okay.
I mean, do you really want Boddingtons in there?
I guess not. So, first of all, I would like to apologize to Sweden and the rest of the Nordic community for the gross mispronunciations that are about to happen. Also, I'd like to apologize to everybody watching this because you're probably not going to get our best footage. This is our 5th in a row, and this is by far the strongest. So a typical beer, thank you, typical beer is going to be somewhere between like 4%, which is like really low, that's like a Pilsner, and then you'll get like a 13% is like, whoa, what are you doing 13%? That's like a really heavy stout. This is 19%. So this is even beyond wine, because what's wine typically, ABV wise?
Yeah, wine is normally about 13%.
Yeah, so this is even stronger than wine.
I'm kind of excited.
Yeah, let's just jump right in.
Okay, so I visited Sweden one time.
Okay.
I was.
Oh, yeah, let's get into that conversation. So
I was in Norway for a month, and I was staying with a Norwegian family of Jehovah's Witnesses. And,
I didn't realize they had Jehovah's Witnesses outside of the US.
Nor did I.
Did they go door to door?
Possibly.
Okay.
I remember they were like, well, you are living with us now, we are very happy to have you from England, but you have to do your chores here, you should mow the lawn. And they're like, it was
really?
Which was fine.
Okay.
It was they had a huge lawn, probably the same size as like your parents' lawn.
Okay.
And they had a non-powered lawnmower, as in it was like
a push mow.
It was a cheese grater on wheels.
Yeah. My grandfather had one. And by grandfather, I mean the one that passed away before I was born.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. The only reason I know, when my grandmother sold the house that my dad and my aunt grew up in, we were cleaning out their shed, and 2 stories. One, I found like what you're describing, a cheese grater on a wheel, and had like a push. And I also found a dead bird, which I put in a Ziploc bag and then brought to my 8th grade science teacher, who was mortified as to why I would have brought that to her. And I was like, hey, look what I found in a shed.
Okay, Dexter.
And she was like, why did you bring that? And I was like, isn't it cool? And she's like, no, it's kind of gross. Throw that out. Anyway.
The other thing I remember from Norway is they had 2 television channels. And I was, because it's funny, because this was the 90s. In England, they had 4 television channels, 5
BBC
if you
1,
lived.
BBC 2.
BBC 1, BBC 2, ITV, which is the I don't know, and Channel 4, which is only like 10 years old.
They're like, fuck it, we're not even named this. It's just Channel 4.
And then they literally had Channel 5, which only half the country got.
Okay.
And so I went to Norway and I'm like, they've only got 2 channels, what the hell?
Huh.
And then already in that time, we would watch American shows, but they're like, we've only got 90 shows on cable. And I'm like, how could you have 90 TV channels? What the hell can you put on them?
It's so weird. Just a lot of movies, honestly.
Yeah.
Movies and like 1970s game shows are what take up all the older channels, most of those channels.
So
anyway,
okay,
so we're gonna
back
get
to Mead.
Back to Mead.
So, if you
Mead's
go to the Renaissance, have you ever gone to the Renaissance Fair with us?
I've never gone with you guys. I went with my parents when I was young.
So when you go,
Yeah.
they do this thing where you buy mead. If you're a mead virgin, you
Okay.
have to grab the cup with your teeth and drink it without using your hands, and you become a mead
Really?
slut. Yes.
So you just like,
Yeah. Yes.
okay.
In fact, this bottle's going to be there, so we might have to even try that as a separate video.
Yeah.
I have videos of Tina doing it. I have videos of Lauren doing it. So
Interesting.
I think we definitely need to take it. Try it. Right. Okay.
This
that's
smells
nice.
interesting. It smells kind of like port.
Yeah, it
It
at
smells
19%,
sweet.
it must be a fortified wine.
Yeah.
My parents live in somewhere in France called the Poitou Charente, and they have something called Pinot there, which is like the traditional drink, which is a fortified wine, which smells like this. And it's like wine with like a deeper alcohol base.
Yeah. This is based on a recipe from about year 1700. So this is.
Oh, that's fantastic.
That is really good. It's thick.
Yeah.
It's kind of like syrupy, but it's very, very sweet.
It's nice, and the
It
ginger
does.
isn't overpowering. It's got a
No.
little heat to it, but that's
Yeah.
it. This is terrific.
That's really good. Yeah, we should venture into them more.
Yeah.
Huh.
They got 'em.
If you could pick a European country that you haven't been to yet, where would you want to go? We said we would get into this in a couple episodes.
Where haven't I? So, I haven't been to Holland or Denmark.
Okay.
And then you get into like the Eastern European countries, which are now joining. I have to admit, I would really dig going to Croatia.
Okay.
Croatia has some
Croatia
fantastic-
also.
So, oh really?
Yeah.
It's, I know. Recently, there's a YouTuber and IG person I follow who's actually I think of why it was Zinfandel. And I was doing Zinfandel because to me that always makes me think of California. And it's like, this is a grape that originally comes from
Croatia.
Croatia. It's just like really interesting to look
Yeah.
into it. And it's like, I know Croatia has some fantastic wines. The TV show I used to write for Wine Portfolio went there. A lot of British people now retire there because you have all these beautiful castles and things. It's like, it had such a rich history, and then communism like crushed it, and then
Interesting. So I know Croatia. Croatia came into my life. I mean, like, my exposure to Croatia came into my life around the same time from 2 very different places. It was circa like 2007 when I got into MMA and I started dating a girl named Kelly. Kelly's best friend was Croatian. Eva Galic-Pericic. And MMA because there was a very popular MMA heavyweight named Mirko Krokop Filipovic. And Krokop was short for Croatian cop. And he had these like really tight shorts that were half black on one leg, and the other leg was the Croatian flag, which is like red and white checkered. So that's my exposure to Croatia.
maybe
Not sure how
the
we got
next
on
maybe
that.
the next
Yeah.
year adult beverages going to road to Croatia.
It'd be an interesting one.
In fact, actually, we might if we had enough viewer figures, I actually have the
Listen,
contacts for that.
hit your friends, tell your friends to hit the subscribe button. We'll go to Croatia. We'll film it. We'll live life. This was really good. I would say this, just based on the alcohol that we've been drinking, I hope that Sweden beats Holland, or beats the Netherlands on whatever day they play, Tuesday, I guess. And then I would say the U.S. is going to beat Britain. Or England. I'm sorry.
I'm not sorry. I'm British. I'm English. Well, I'm half English, half Scottish. But I'm like, you know what? No, the American soccer team.
You've really made your way around the UK because you were ancestrally you're from Scotland.
Yes, and I was born and raised in England.
And you went to school in Wales.
Yes.
Okay. So you've you've touched them all, so to speak. That's a baseball analogy, but it's not an Errol Flynn thing. It's a baseball thing.
Well, Wales was just asking for it.
Touch them all is like you go around the bases.
Wales gave me that look, and I'm like, that little slut wants me to go and study in it for 4 years. Right.
Oh, jeez. Anyway, go Team USA. Go. Oh well. How do you feel on the alcohols that we've drank? How would you rank them?
I mean, I don't think you could include this. This is fantastic, though. I love this.
Yeah.
But the Christmas still goes there. But we've got one.
We have one more we're going to do in the next video, but that's unrelated to the U.S. women's team. Or U.S. That's unrelated to women's
Brandon, your superpower is being able to make things related to the most unrelated stuff. So that's going to be a challenge.
We'll talk
Watch
about
the next video.
Watch the next video to find out how I can relate the next beer to the women's national team.
Boom.
Cheers.